What's happening, everyone? Good morning. Had an interesting conversation with my wife last night and discussing a little bit about some Vedic truths that could be helpful for us when we're navigating these sometimes crazy times. There's a very significant benefit to continuing to increase your skills and gather more tools in a lot of different areas so that you could use specific tools for specific situations. Just like if you're building a house, of course, you're going to need a hammer and a saw and, drill and so many different tools, because you can't just use one. And so sometimes when you're dealing with people in business, personal relationships, your kids, your family, so many different things, sometimes you need to display a compassionate, empathetic, soft side. So you can develop that tool and use that tool when it's appropriate. But there's other times where you need to have a stronger, harder side, because you need to lay down boundaries with people. And you need to make points that are understood, that there's not a negotiation on that point. There's not any wiggle room on that. So often, especially in the past, in the ancient past, in the Vedic text, it talks about these different types of sages, saintly persons, would really develop these different character qualities and use those in different situations and different circumstances. So it was very calculated the way that their emotions were displayed outwardly. So sometimes there would be an assembly and someone would be saying something and the conversation would get a little bit heated. Other times it would just be silent. Other times there would be soft words spoken. Sometimes it would just be kind of cold logic. But it was very calculated, very intentional what was being said and how it was being said. So if you don't just react to things, like you're seeing this on social media a lot, it's just someone will say something that triggers the other person because maybe there's a cultural offense or political or social or some sensitive issue, and then they'll just react, not thinking about where the other person's coming from or that the other person has been reactive. And it just, what's the fruit of that? What's the result? It just ends up being often just a mess of anger and division and frustration. We don't get into a better state in our own self, with our own mind, and the world's no better for it most of the time. There may be exceptions to this, but a lot of times you're going to see just problems. So I often look out into the world. I see the plants, I see the animals, I see the atmosphere, I see the people. And in a lot of ways, they're very unique. Different trees grow in different environments, need more water or less water, or more sunshine or less sunshine. Similarly, people are like that. Each of us has grown up in our own unique way, with our own unique experiences, with our own families, in our own countries, in our own towns, with our own cultures, with our own specific traumas and triumphs. And it's built our consciousness. There's genetic and epigenetic factors that have trickled down over generations that have shaped our consciousness from the beginning. And then we've added on to that with our own experiences in this lifetime. So it's good to try to understand where people are coming from. People have sensitivity and pain in certain areas where other people are callous to that, or they don't relate to it. The world's changed because there's so many people and they're so interconnected through the internet, and just the ability to be exposed to so many different ideas. Wasn't like that before. Our biological evolution and our evolutionary psychology in small tribes that didn't have a lot of contact with a lot of people is a totally different world. So this one in a lot of ways is very complicated, but at the same time we have so much knowledge and so many studies and so many people trying to figure out the truth of things that we can use these tools to be better and not reactive. If you're more peaceful and purpose-filled and satisfied from within yourself through your thoughts, your actions, your intentions, your energy that you've cultivated over a significant period of time, then you have a significantly more diverse set of tools to be able to deal with these things better. So that's why I always encourage everyone to get their physiological, biochemical, neurological state on point through their regular exercise. Exercise throughout the day, moving the body throughout the day. I'm encouraging actually more and more to move the body throughout the entire day. It's so incredibly healthy to contract the muscles and increase the circulation, the nervous system, the respiratory system, the digestive system. All these systems are constantly being flushed of toxins. And healing and just creating a healthy energy. Just little walks throughout the day, small little movements for just a couple of minutes, every 20 minutes, every 30 minutes, every hour, just throughout the day. That's how our biological systems were developed. That's how wild animals often are. They'll move around, they'll graze, eat and walk and eat and walk and eat and walk throughout the entire day. Fish will swim around and eat and swim and eat. Look at their bodies. Look at a wild animal's body in a healthy environment that's not contaminated by toxins and poisons and pollutions, and just a nice natural environment. That musculature, body composition, luster of their entire being is there because they're constantly moving, and the nutrition is what's best for their body. That physiological, psychological state is superior. You can deal with problems better. So many other ways too. Get connected up with the people that you love and your community. Support them and take support from them. Your financial situation, be smart about it and get it into a secure, stable situation that's thriving and growing. A lot more resources with that, and a lot more peace of mind that you're not just living on the edge. And then your spiritual life, all different types of spiritual disciplines can add huge benefits to your life. So these are the pillars. And it starts with you. And the physical side of things is the most, it's so easy to see the changes, and you can feel proud and good about what you're doing to change that state. All right, we're close to the gym. Let's get this. Aloha.